All right, everybody. We're going to try this again on a Saturday morning. I'm still not all that comfortable with the live stuff, but I will try it on a Saturday just because that's my one free day to have time to try to figure it out. Not exactly the tech whiz, as most of you probably already know just from watching the videos. You know I'm not a tech whiz. But since people seem to enjoy the live streams once in a while, I figured I'd try it. And we are still in Series 4. We're at the last part of Series 4. Last game in Series 4, which is Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. So we've got the Cincinnati Reds facing the Tampa Bay Rays here in this Series 4, Matchup 5, Game number 1, Game 50 of 270 on the season. So obviously still got a long ways to go. Once I finish Series 4, we'll be about 22% of the way through the season. So it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, as they say. Hey, good morning, Brad. How are you? I'm well beyond the jogging stage. I used to jog, but not anymore. Gotten too old and my knees can't take it anymore. So, all right, let's bring in the score sheets so we can see who's available and who had to rest. I did the rest rolls ahead of time. Starting pitchers for today's game, we got the two aces, Johnny Cueto and Chris Archer. So they're both going to be going at it today here in Tampa Bay. When we rested Cincinnati, or did the Cincinnati rest rolls, Jason Bourgeois had to rest, but that was okay because Billy Hamilton, this is his first game back off the injured list, so he will be in center field batting ninth. For Tampa Bay, they got the raw deal on the rest roll. They had to rest Cabrera, Souza, and Loney. So as a result, I had nobody to play first base. So I had to send down Jennings and call up Jake Elmore. So Jake Elmore is actually going to play second with Foresight at first, but I had too many outfielders, not enough infielders with these rest rolls, so I had to make some adjustments there. Reds are 3-6, Rays are 6-3, and like I said, the rest rolls are already taken care of. Do have the game on the computer, so I can give you this. Well, actually I do, but it's kind of hard. I can't do that and look at the chat at the same time, so may have to forego that. I will give you the pitchers' stats before we start. But for the Reds, it's Phillips, Cozart, Vado, Frazier, Bruce, Suarez, the DH, Pena, Bird, and Hamilton. We are using the DH because the American League team is the home team. For the Rays, Jaso DH, Forsyth at first, Longoria at third, DeJesus in right, Geyer in left, Beckham at short, Kiermaier in center, Jake Elmore at second, and Rene Rivera will be doing the catching and batting ninth. As I usually like to do on the first game of a new series, show the bench and bullpens. So for the Reds, look at their bench. It is the rested Jason Bourgeois. He's on the bench. Then they have two lefties, Skip Schumacher and Brennan Bosch, and then backup catcher Tucker Barnhart. In the bullpen, right-handers, J.J. Hoover, Jumbo Diaz, Burke Badenhop, Pedro Villarreal. The two lefties, Tony Cingrani and Manny Parra, and of course the closer, who happens to be another lefty, Aroldis Chapman. So those are the seven pitchers in the bullpen. Good morning, Replay Gamer. How are you? All right, for the Tampa Bay Rays, let's look at their bench. Of course, the three guys that had to rest, Steven Souza, Asdrubal Cabrera, and James Loney, they're on the bench, obviously, and along with backup catcher Bobby Wilson. And in the bullpen, the two lefties, Xavier Cedano and Jake Mcgee, and then right-handers, Kevin Jepson, Brandon Gomes, Steve Geltz, Alex Colome, and the closer, Brad Boxberger. So now you know who I have to choose from. So if I don't use somebody, it's because they weren't on the roster, or because the situation dictated that I didn't think they should be used. So however you want to look at it. Let me get all my things set up here. Like I said, a little bit out of my element doing the live thing, but I'm giving it a go. Now, I might need to raise this up a bit to fit the... Lost connection there for a second, or at least I think I did, but hopefully I'm back. Good morning, Keith. How are you? Sorry about that. Something happened with my phone and it went into pause mode or something. I don't know. That's what happens when you have use your smartphone to do your recording, but that's all I have. Like I said, I'm trying to get this up high enough. Maybe I need to bring it back down this way just a touch, because Rene Rivera is the last guy in the order, so I want to make sure that we can see his numbers, which I think we can. And I don't think anything's missing up top, so hopefully, let me look on the computer and see what it looks like. Let's see here. Looks like everything fits in okay. It shows up better on the computer than it did looking through my phone, so maybe my phone is giving me false readings. I don't know, but let's move this over. That's one of the dangers or bad parts about doing a live thing is when I'm doing a recording, I can set it up in advance how I like it, but this way it's kind of off the beaten path. So thank you for those who are spending part of their Saturday morning with me. Last Saturday in February, thank goodness, we're almost into March. That means spring is close. All right, so Chris Archer, let's get, I said I would talk about the starting pitcher's stats. So let's take a look at those. Chris Archer on the replay. So far in 2 starts, he's 1-0 with a 2.25 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 13 hits, 2 walks, and 17 strikeouts. So a really good strikeout to walk ratio going there for Mr. What are your thoughts on the 86 set? I have not received it. I've got a FedEx thing that said it's supposed to come today before 9 p.m. But the FedEx guys around here have a notorious tendency to not be able to find the house for some reason. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I have the original 1986. Bought that a while back from Moonlight Graham. So I'll be curious when the 86 set gets here to compare the cards and see how much changing was done, how much updating was done. Hey Tim, how are you doing? Good morning to you. I almost didn't buy the 86 set, but then when I was ordering from Strat, I was like, because of the exorbitant shipping charges, I figured I'd rather try to pile up the order as best I could. So I got 4786 in 2021. So I got those all in the order. I did not order the computer game this year. I didn't want to deal with that because I probably won't play it all that much. I'll use Replay PC. I'll get that season, 21 season when it comes out, and use that for all the stat keeping. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it, but like I said, hit and miss with the FedEx people around here. The tracking said it was here in Richmond, so it's just a matter of getting it down to me. So we shall see. Keep my fingers crossed that it gets here sometime before, I wouldn't think FedEx would deliver at night, but hey, you never know. I don't know what they're doing. All right, so Chris Archer, like I said, I already gave his stats. He will be the starting pitcher. And Brandon Phillips is your batter. And I guess everything looks okay. As best I can tell through the computer, it looks like you can see everything. Got our dice. I was going to bring out the blue D6s for Tampa Bay, but I decided to go with the conventional. All right, so Phillips will be leading things off. Yeah, Brad, I like that. Actually, my wedding was not expensive at all. We went to the Justice of the Peace. So her parents and my parents were very happy about that. But, 26 years later, we're still going on. So don't need a big wedding, obviously. It's all a choice, I suppose. All right, so yeah, unboxings are an interesting thing. I noticed unboxings do generate a lot of views. A lot of people like to see that, particularly people that don't have the cards yet. That's one of the good things for people that get the cards early, kind of a spoiler thing, and people that don't have them are really curious to see what they look like. So that certainly is a thing. And yes, Replay Gamer, I've got to use your template to make my envelopes for 47 and 86 and 21. So I got a lot of printing that's got to go on. I will probably do that probably tonight, maybe, I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But I hope everybody's having a good Saturday morning wherever you are. I've got my coffee with me, so if you hear a slurp in the in between plays is because I'm drinking coffee, just like I just did. All right, Tabby is not around, so hopefully we have no interruptions from the felines or the canine. Hopefully my dog doesn't bark either. But they tend to do that when you want to start doing a video. That's when all the stuff comes up. All right, without further ado, Brandon Phillips to lead things off. And I'll give you, I guess I can look real quick. Brandon Phillips is hitting .262 in 42 at-bats, a homer and 5 driven in. So I can kind of go between the screens there to make sure I have everything. I'm not going to score it in Strat until after the game's over because that'll just take too long. All right, so Brandon Phillips, 6'7", and that's a walk right off the bat. Phillips draws the leadoff walk. Check the injury things for both pitchers. They're both at 0, so neither pitcher has a chance to be injured. Brandon Phillips is an ace stealer, so he could injure the Rays as far as doing steals. Ace stealer starts at a 15. Being held, you subtract the 2, brings him down to a 13. The catcher, Rivera, his arm is a -2, so that could maybe curtail a little bit. That drops Phillips to an 11. 1 to an 11, Phillips on the season stole 23 bases, was only caught 3 times. That 1 to 11, 55%, they may not want to go there. So I think they're going to just hold him there and let Zach Cozart give it a go. So Zach Cozart steps up. Actually, I am going to have to, I guess, score the game, as at least the first part to get to the lineups to give you the stats. So Zach Cozart is struggling early on. In 28 at-bats, he's only hitting .179, 2 homers and 4 driven in. Infield at double play depth, and of course, Phillips will be held. 5-12, and that's a ground ball first base X, and the first baseman is Logan Forsyth. It's a good thing I didn't use Jake Elmore. He's a 5 at first base. That's why I put him at second and used Forsyth at first. Forsyth is a 3, so we'll see what he can do as a 3. 3 and a 14. 3 and a 14. Let me get my defensive chart out. 3 and a 14 for the first baseman. Goes to his error check. So somebody had asked before about how to do the defensive thing, so I'll try to do this one more time. I don't really want to have to do a tutorial on it. I'm figuring most people know, but for those who don't, you roll, when you get the defensive chart and you get the defensive chances, we go to the first baseman on the chart because that's who's in question. And the roll, I believe, was a 14. Did I say it was a 14? I think it was a 14. I'm trying to remember. So we rolled a 14. So we come over to the first baseman chart, and there's a whole bunch of range factors right here. In this box is the range factor. If he gets to it, he gets to it. If he doesn't, it's going to be a base hit. However, there's some numbers up here that says roll dice on splits of 7 to 15. Well, 14 obviously fits into that category. So if it fails this test, then we go to the error check. And we look at the error rating on Forsyth. He's an E21, so obviously he's not very good at all. Puts us in this spot right here. And we're going to roll 2 D6s. If we roll a 3 through a 9 or 12, it's an error. If we roll a 10 or an 11, it's a ground ball double play. If we roll a 2, there's a split chance. So let's roll the 2 D6s, but dollars to donuts, this is going to be an error. 6, it's most definitely an error. It's a 1 base error on Forsyth. So I put him at first, hoping it would curtail the bad fielding chances of Elmore, and kind of got bit in the butt right with that one. But that's just the way it happens. Hello, old man. It almost looks like music, but it's kind of rearranged there. So interesting way of spelling that. But anyway, it's a 1 base error on the first baseman, Forsyth. So instead of a potential double play to get 2 quick outs, it's 2 on and nobody out. And Mr. Archer in early trouble. Brings up Joey Vado. He's hitting .333, 1 homer and 5 driven in. An even 10 for 30 on the season. So let's see what they're going to do here. Infield is double play depth, and Phillips is being held at second. Archer, 3-7. That's a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So 2 walks and an error without the benefit of a hit. The Reds have the bases loaded. How do you like that? The Reds have the bases loaded without the benefit of a hit. And now the Todd father, Todd Frazier, is coming up. And on the replay, Frazier is red hot. He's hitting .417 in 36 at-bats. 4 homers and 14 driven in. Not exactly who Chris Archer wants to see right now, but what are you going to do? And I think the Tampa Bay team, because, let's see, because he's got that 7, the plus there right on the number 7, they're going to play back for a double play, try to turn 2 and try to minimize the damage. Old man does fine. All right, we're good. I'm old too, so we can be old together. How about that? All right, so the infield's back for the double play. They'll give up the run to turn 2. 6-10, and that is a fly ball C. We're not doing super advanced, so there's not going to be any kind of ballpark effects there. But a fly ball C, if we go to the chart, fly ball C says, whoops, down here, batter out, runner holds. So it's a fly ball to center field, hauled in by Kiermaier, but it wasn't deep enough for the runners to try it. So a big out there for Chris Archer. He can actually get out of the inning with a double play now. So they're definitely looking to turn 2 now back for the double play. And that's going to bring up Jay Bruce. And Jay Bruce really struggling, only hitting a .167 in 36 at-bats, no homers and 2 runs driven in. So unlike Frazier, Bruce has been struggling. So Archer looking to turn 2. 4-5, struck him out, so that's not as good as turning 2, but it's close enough. And now he's 1 out away from getting out of the mess. And it's up to the designated hitter, Eugenio Suarez, to try to prevent the Reds from leaving the bases loaded. Suarez is hitting in limited duty. He's only 5 out of 15 for .333 average. But in 15 at-bats, he's got 3 home runs. So Archer does have to be careful of the long ball. Don't want a grand slam coming up right now if you're Archer. 4-4. Fly ball center field X. So Kiermaier has a chance. And Kiermaier, a very good defensive center fielder. He's a 1. Can't get any better than that. 1 and a 13, though, could go to an error check. Let's take a look for center field. A 1 and a 13. Yep, 13. I'm sorry, one over here. 1 to 13. It does fall in there. How about that? Left field, it doesn't, but center field, it does. That 13 is in the range factor, so we don't need to go down here. We just come right over here to 1. It's fly ball C. Doesn't matter about the alphabet because there's 2 outs already. And how about that? Chris Archer does his Houdini act and gets out of the inning unscathed. And I got a feeling for Cincinnati, that might come back to bite them. And certainly Johnny Cueto is not very happy. He thought he was going to get some run support here in the first inning, but that didn't happen. So now Johnny Cueto is up and on the mound. And his 2 starts, he's 1-0, a stellar 0.64 ERA. 14 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 walks, and 17 strikeouts. So done very well for himself. Leading off for the Rays will be designated hitter John Jaso. He's hitting only a .174 in 23 at-bats, no homers, and 1 driven in. So let's see what Cueto can do against Jaso. 1-4, that's a ground ball to short. 1 away. So easy play there. Jaso is retired fairly easily. His struggles continue. Next up is Logan Forsyth, who was at first base and made that error. Forsyth hitting .333, 13 out of 39, no homers and 1 driven in. 6-6, that's a pop out to short. Cozart snags it, and 2 quick outs. So Johnny Cueto doing much better than his counterpart, but both teams have 0 to show for it. Here's Evan Longoria. And on the replay, he's hitting .306 in 36 at-bats. 1 homer, 6 driven in. 6-6. That's another pop. How about that? Back-to-back 6-6 rolls to get 2 pop-outs to the shortstop Cozart, and the inning is over. So after 1 complete here in Tampa, we're scoreless. They got there in different fashions, but the bottom line is that line score. That's all that counts. They don't get style points. This is just all for results. All right. Top of the second we go. And the catcher, Brian Pena, actually sent down Devin Mesoraco when Hamilton came off the injured list. Mesoraco, the third catcher, got sent to the minors. So they're back to having just two catchers, Tucker Barnhart and Brian Pena. Brian Pena gets the start in this one. Just 11 at bats, he's hitting 182, no homers or runs driven in. So obviously, when you don't get a whole lot of playing time, maybe it just takes him a while to get going. I don't know. 4-4, switch hitter being left is a fly ball center field X. That is, again, as Kiermaier's a 1. 1 and an 18 is a good play. So better start now for Mr. Archer as the leadoff man is retired. And that's going to send us to Marlon Bird, left fielder. And Bird enters the game hitting .333, 8 of 24 with 1 homer and 2 driven in. 1-7, ground ball to short. That's 2 down. And I'm giving these stats just to kind of give a feel for what a broadcast would be, but I realize that the stats in such limited amount of numbers, being so small, sample size is everything in stats. So what are you going to do? Now here's Billy Hamilton. This is his first game back since being injured in the first series of the season. He's only had 5 at bats. He's 1 for 5, 200 average. No homers or runs driven in. He struck out twice in 5 at bats. That's why he's down in the 9th spot, not in the leadoff spot. 3-6, and he's going to pop it up to short. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Archer. Much, much easier inning than the first one. A lot less stress. He's able to get it done. We go to the bottom of the second, and we're still scoreless. Cueto back out, and it'll be the right fielder, David DeJesus. He's subbing for the resting Souza, so there's a big drop-off there in talent, obviously. We'll check the numbers on DeJesus, although DeJesus is hitting .304 in the replay and 23 at bats, a homer and 6 driven in. 6-4 against the lefty. Ground ball shortstop X, that is Cozart. He is a 1. 1 and a 20, good play all day long. 1 away. And that will take us to left fielder Brandon Geyer. Geyer on the replay. Red hot, hitting .381 in just 21 at bats. No homers and 4 runs driven in. 2-8 for Geyer, and all these hits in column 2, and he found another pop up to short. In 5 outs, the Rays have popped to Zach Cozart 3 times. What are the odds of that? That's just what happened. All right, here's Tim Bennett like Beckham. He's stepping up to shortstop, and in limited duty, 18 at bats, he's hitting .444 with 1 homer and 4 runs driven in. Also a 2 doubles and a triple, so he's been getting it done. 2-11. This time is a hit by pitch plus injury. That's all we need are some more injuries, but hey, that's why it's called the Demolition League. We go for injuries. All right, that makes me have to rearrange the roster and work the roster and manage and all that good stuff. So we go to our injury check, which I am using this right here. So 1-4, he's okay and nothing happens. 5-6, he will miss the remaining of this game, but then can come back the next game. Anything else can go up to 60 games. So let's see what Beckham gets. A 15, he's going to be out 5 more games. So he's going to miss this game plus 5. So Beckham, and they were already shorthanded. I don't know if I've got anybody that can play shortstop. I've got to check the roster here. We maybe have to really do some finagling here. Injured 5 games. So that's really going to hurt. They're going to have to call up somebody from the minors to fill his spot. So Beckham, the official result was he was hit by a pitch, so we need a pinch runner for Beckham. So let's put this in as a hit by pitch, and let's see who's on the bench. I think what I'm going to have to do is, I usually, when the guys have to rest, the rule is they can't come in until the 7th, but with an injury, I think you have another choice. So Cabrera's not going to get the rest day he thought he was going to get. He's going to come in and play shortstop. He's going to pinch run, then come in and play shortstop. So Cabrera, due to the injury overrides the rest rolls. So Cabrera will be the new runner at first now that Beckham got plunked and is injured. All right, so the new runner will be Mr. Cabrera. Now I thought I was free from Tabby, and she still wants to get up here. Hold on, Tabby. Hopefully she stays off camera. But she's right where I'm trying to play, so that can be a pain sometimes. Tabby, no. Come on, get down. All right, if I was recording, I could pause this, but it ain't happening now. All right, so Kevin Kiermaier stepping to the plate. And on the replay, Kiermaier's only hitting a .154 in 26 at-bats. No homers and 2 runs driven in. Let's see, runner Cabrera at first base is a C, so they will have to hold him on, but he's not going to try to go anywhere. 2-2. That's another hit by pitch plus injury. So how do you like that? 2 plays in a row, we got a hit by pitch plus injury. So now Kiermaier might be injured, and the Rays may really have to go to their minor leagues. They may have to be the Durham Bulls here shortly. All right, we'll try it again. Same results, or same chances. Rolling 8. So he's only going to miss 1 game after this, but he's got to leave. So Kiermaier is gone, and he will miss game 2 of the series. He will come back for game 3 of the series. So he's going to miss the 1 game. And now we need a substitute for Kiermaier, as Cueto's control is starting to elude him a little bit. So we're going to put Souza in his place, and then DeJesus will go over and play center field, and Souza will stay in the game to play right field. So how about that? Just in the 2nd inning, we're really having to shuffle here. So Kiermaier will have to sit. And now on the bench, all they have left is James Loney and the backup catcher Wilson. So their pinch hitting options down the road of this game are a little bit iffy. So we're going to have Souza take over, and he will be in right field, and DeJesus will move to center, making sure DeJesus is rated for center, which I think he is. Yes, he is. He's not very good. He's a 4, so it hurts your defense, but you got to do something. All right, so Jake Elmore steps up, and this is his first at-bat of the season, so obviously he has no prior record to go on. Cueto's got to bear down now with 2 on and 2 out. I have 2 consecutive hit by pitch plus injuries. Cabrera is being held at second. Elmore 5-10, and that's an in-home run chance, but he does have weak power, but it could be a single 2 stars on a 1-10. 1-10, we got a single 2 stars. And it's a 4, so it is a base hit. So all this happening with 2 outs, and Cabrera will score from second. Souza will take third on the single 2 stars, and the Rays now lead it 1-0 here in the 2nd inning. Big 2-run or big RBI single from Jake Elmore in his first at bat of the season since being called up, and he gets it done. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. Elmore E-Stealer will not be held. And Rene Rivera, the catcher, number 9 hitter, hitting .214 in limited duty, 14 at bats, no homers or runs driven in. Cueto 3-2. Oh, I looked at 2-2 by accident. 3-2 is a fly to left. That's going to end the inning. So the Rays grab the lead, but it comes at a cost, as in back-to-back at bats, Tim Beckham is injured, and so is Kevin Kiermaier. So they're going to have to do some shuffling after the game is over. Already doing shuffling in this game. So Cabrera is now your shortstop. Like I said, normally he would have to rest till the 7th, but with injuries, you have no choice. You have to bring him in. DeJesus will move from right field to center field, and the new right fielder is Souza. Okay. A lot of interesting stuff going on right there. Okay, back to the top of the order in the top of the 3rd for Chris Archer. He'll be facing Brandon Phillips. Phillips, his first time up, walked, but was stranded at 3rd. 3-7, and that's a ground ball to short. So Archer gets out of that, no problem. And that'll bring up Zach Cozart. Hello, Robert. Good morning to you. All right, Zach Cozart, the batter. Robert, I don't know if he came in when the hit-by-pitches were going on, but that's why it's called the Demolition League. Anything can happen. And got to use that minor league system and all those extra cards. Cozart, 5'9". Ground ball shortstop X. That is the new shortstop, Cabrera. And you knew when a new defensive player comes in, the ball's going to find him. So Cabrera is a 2. 2 and a 7, I think, is good enough. We'll double check it. That's short. 2 and a 7 is good enough. Ground ball B. That's all you need. So Cabrera up to the task in his first chance in the field. His back-to-back grounders to short for 2 quick outs. And that's going to send us now to Joey Vado. Vado walked his first time. 6'9" against the lefty. He's going to get a base hit to right field. 2-out single for Joey Vado. He's a B stealer, so he will have to be held, but with Rivera's arm, they're not going to run on him. But it does put a runner on. The tying run is on first base with 2 down for the Todd father, Todd Frazier. 1-7, and that's a ground ball to short. And since he was being held at first base, that ball's going to get through single 2 stars because of the plus. So that's a base hit. That's the disadvantage you have in holding runners. That's the little gamble you take. And he found that plus sign. So runners are at the corners now with 2 down. So a 2-out rally potentially by the Reds. And Frazier will have to be held on because he's a B stealer. It's not going to go anywhere, but still have to account for him. And now Jay Bruce, the struggling Jay Bruce, stepping to the plate. 2-3, and that's a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So for the second time in 3 innings, the Reds have the bases loaded. First inning, they couldn't cash in. They left them loaded, and that was with nobody out. Now they got 2 outs, and Eugenio Suarez, the designated hitter, stepping to the plate. 1-4, ground ball to short, and they're going to get out of it again. So Archer is living right as he was able to get that out. And at the end of 2.5, it's still 1-0 in favor of the Rays. Hey Larry, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good morning. All right, Johnny Cueto back out. Well, hopefully he has better control, because if he starts hitting more guys, Rays are going to run out of players. So have to be careful with that. All right, here's J-So. Rounded to short his first trip. 6'9", and that's a 1-8 single chance. Anything else, he will line it to Joey Votto on a 9-20. And Joey Votto snags it, 1 away. So 1 down. And again, for anybody that missed it early, the injury chances for the pitchers are 0. Neither one of them have a chance to be injured, so at least they don't have to worry about that, but everybody else seems to have to worry about that. All right. 1 away, and that brings us to Logan Forsyth, the first baseman. 3-4, and that's a home run chance. 1-3 is a dinger. 4-20, it's a 1-out double. And it's gone. Logan Forsyth cracks a home run. And for Forsyth, that is his first homer of the season, 2nd RBI. On the real life season, he hit 17, so he's definitely got some pop, obviously. And he popped Johnny Cueto right there for a home run. 2-0 Rays, and here's Evan Longoria. 5-9, and that's another chance for a home run. 1-11 could be back-to-back jacks, and this could be Tampa Bay's retribution for those hit batters. It is gone. Back-to-back jacks. Evan Longoria takes Cueto deep. And now the Cincinnati Reds ace, a little bit of trouble. That's the 2nd home run of the season for Longoria. RBI number 7. Rays now lead at 3-0. And now DeJesus, the new center fielder, will lead off. Or not lead off, but will step up to the plate. 6-9. And that's a 1-8 single. 9-20. And Vado will snag it again like he did to J-So. And no, it went to a 1. It was a 13, and it rolled to a 1 at the last minute, so it will be a base hit. Single there for DeJesus. He's a C stealer. He will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. And Brandon Geyer, the batter. 3-6. And a hit by pitch. That's the third. It's no injury, but it's a hit by pitch. And now the umpires are starting to figure out whether these are intentional or not, because Cueto might be showing his frustration. Fortunately for the Rays, there is no injury, but that's the third hit batter by Cueto in less than 3 innings. In 2 1/3 innings, he's hit 3 batters. So I don't know if there's a house rule about. Hey Bob, how you doing? About house rule about him getting ejected or whatever, but Rays can't afford to get their guys hit and hurt, so we'll see. DeJesus is held at second base. Here is Cabrera, his first at bat since coming in. 5-2 is a walk. So again, Cueto, I think Cueto's going to have to be removed here. He just doesn't have it, and there's no sense going on with it any further. They're going to have to do something here because he just didn't have it. I just don't know what to tell you. And it's not getting any better for the Reds. I mean, he's supposed to be your ace, but it just not his day. So they're going to go to the bullpen. The next scheduled hitter is Steven Souza for his first at bat, so they will be bringing in a right-hander out of the pen. And the Reds figure they're going to go large. If they're going to go large. So they're going to go as large as they can go with Jumbo Diaz. So Jumbo Diaz is your new pitcher for the Reds. On the replay, in 5 innings pitched, he's got an ERA of 7.71, no wins, no losses, no saves. 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a home run allowed. But he's got trouble because there's 1 out and the bases are loaded. Now, do you play in or do you play for the double play? He does have the plus there to 3-5, but I don't think that's enough of a gamble to hurt them. So they're going to play the infield in here and try to choke the runoff against Steven Souza. Souza, his first at bat, he's only hitting .207 in 29 at bats. No homers and 2 driven in. 6-5, that's a strikeout. So Jumbo coming in living large. And Jumbo gets the job done there, but he's still got 1 more out to get. And that's Jake Elmore. It's not Jake from State Farm, it's Jake Elmore. And Jumbo has to get through that. So here's Elmore. He's got a single his first trip, so he's 1 for 1 on the season. 6-4, fly ball center field X. That's Billy Hamilton. And Billy Hamilton is known for his speed and defense. He's a 1 center field. 1 and 6, I do believe that's good enough for Hamilton to track down. And he does, the fly ball B, but there's no sac fly. That was the 3rd out. So Billy Hamilton. And how about that? Jumbo Diaz gets him out of further trouble. But the Rays do pick up 2 on those back-to-back jacks. And at the end of 3, it's Tampa Bay 3 and the Reds nothing. But the Reds are going to end up in a bullpen day. So I think Villarreal is their long reliever, or maybe Singrani. I'll have to double check it. Okay, so we start top of the 4th. Good to see everybody here on a Saturday morning. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning, wherever you happen to be. All right, Brian Pena. Reds have their work cut out for him. Brian Pena, the catcher, will lead off. And at least Tabby is now on a little perch, so she's quiet. She's watching me, but she's out of the way and not going to bother me. Knock on wood. 2-7 for Pena. It's a ground ball to short. So Pena is retired. That brings up Marlon Bird. 5-5. That's a strikeout. So Chris Archer, after some early trouble, seems to have settled in. 2 up, 2 down for the speedy Billy Hamilton. But his speed does no good if he doesn't get on base. 6-5, switch hitter batting left, is another strikeout. So Archer dissecting the Reds here in the 4th. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Chris Archer. He took care of business. The old Bachman-Turner overdrive inning of TCB and taking care of business. All right. Jumbo Diaz is going to come back out. Try to give him 1 more inning if he can. He only Only faced 2 batters, got them both out, so he's still good to go. Rivera stepping to the plate. 4-6 for Jumbo, and he struck him out. So Jumbo is just red hot. That seemed to be a good call to bring Jumbo Diaz, and it seems to be his day. Now that brings up John Jaso, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2. 4-9. Oh, Jumbo could be in trouble. 4-9 is an in-home run chance, and he does have normal power. 1-16, and Jaso will send the ball in flight, and it'll be 4-0 Tampa. And he does. So John Jaso goes deep. So much for Jumbo. Jumbo got knocked down to size a little bit there with that home run from Jaso. It's now 4-0 Tampa. And it just doesn't look like a good day for the Reds. Just saying. Here's Foresight. 5-10, that's a walk. And I still remember Tabletop Earl saying a long time ago that it seems like after a home run, the next result seems to be a walk. A good percentage of the time. I don't know if it's because the pitchers are scared to put one in there or what. Forsyth will be held as a C stealer. And that'll bring up Longoria. 1-8, and that's another walk. So now Jumbo Diaz, one more batter, and he'll be tired. So the bullpen for the Reds is back up again. Tony Cingrani, the lefty, is loosening. But they're trying to get, actually, if the computer is saying Jumbo Diaz is tired already. Good thing I have that up there to catch myself. So he is tired, but they're going to try to get him, they'll let him pitch some more, try to get him out of this mess. 1-7, and that's a single to left, so that didn't help. Probably a bad move. Had he brought a lefty in, that would have been a fly out to center, but what are you going to do? Single to left, Forsyth, the left fielder arm Bird. Let's see what kind of arm he has. He's a 0 on his arm. Forsyth runs at a 13, being held makes him a 12. So they're going to hold him up to load the bases, and that's going to be it. Well, you know what? Yeah, that's going to be it for Jumbo Diaz, but they are going to bring a right-hander and not a lefty because Brandon Geyer eats lefties for lunch. So they will go to the pen, but it will be a right-hander. And if you want somebody to clean up the mess, you bring in a Hoover. So it's going to be J.J. Hoover that will be called upon to try to get him out of this mess. J.J. Hoover. Actually, I forgot to, all that stuff I was doing, I forgot to put Diaz here. I don't know how I forgot that, but I did. Let's see, Diaz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batters faced, and he pitched 1 inning. I forgot to do Cueto as well. Cueto faced 15 batters, and he went 2 1/3. So actually, definitely a bullpen day, but J.J. Hoover is on. So Hoover, and we'll check his injury just to make sure. For Hoover, it's a 1, so it's 6-12. We got to avoid a 6-12. Forgot to do Diaz, but he's out of the game, so it doesn't matter anyway. Hoover on the replay, not too well. Oh, actually, I didn't make the change yet. Let me do that on the computer so I can get his stats. So J.J. Hoover is on, and Hoover actually is doing very well for himself. 6 innings pitched. He's 1-0, no saves, and an ERA of 0.00. 1 hit in the 6 innings, 5 walks and 5 strikeouts. So he does have some high walk totals, but everything else seems to be okay. And he's got the bases loaded, 1 out, facing Brandon Geyer. And they've got that 3-7 with the plus there. They're gonna play back for the double play. And you know what? There's a lot of B's on there, so we're gonna play in. They're gonna play in. They just can't give up any more runs. 2-7, and it doesn't matter which way they play. That's gonna be a base hit. 1-2 is a double. 3-20 is a single, 2 stars either way. And that's a single, 2 stars for Brandon Geyer, so Hoover wasn't the answer. 2-run single, and that's charged to Diaz, those extra runs. So Diaz's outing now has really gotten shaky. Runners are at the corners. It is now 6-0 Tampa Bay. And the game is getting out of hand, so hopefully you guys in the chat can chat amongst yourself and keep it entertaining, because I'm not that entertaining when it's a blowout. So it might not be that entertaining when it's a close game. I don't know. Anyway, here's Cabrera. And the infield, let's see. Geyer will be held, so we're in the same situation. Now, he does have that 3-7 for the base hit. They don't have a whole lot of beats. You know, they're going to play back for the double play. Cabrera is a good double play candidate. 1-7. 1-3 is a double. If you don't get the double, it's a sacrifice fly to center on a 4-20. And it's a 3. That's just the way it's going for the Reds. It's a double to center field. Cabrera will just hold at third base. But DeJesus comes around to score. It's now 7-0. And now Hoover's not the answer either. He hasn't gotten anybody out, both batters he's faced. Here's Steven Souza. The infield definitely has to be in with runners at second and third and only one out. Hoover to Souza. 2-12, and that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. How many times we had the bases loaded in this game for both teams, actually. And now Hoover is tired. But you can't, you know, somebody's got to take one for the team here. So he's going to stay in there against Elmore and hope he doesn't hit one of those dots. 6-2. It's a fly ball left field X. That's Bird. Bird is a 3. 3-9 probably goes to an error check. Let's take a look. 3 and a 9 does go to an error check. He is an E0, so we know he's going to make the play, but we got to figure out if it's going to be an A or a B or whatever. So we'll check it out. 11. Well, actually, 0 means it's a fly ball B, so it is a sacrifice fly. All zeros are fly ball Bs. So it gets the out, but it's a sacrifice fly to score Geyer. And that's all the Reds needed, was to allow another run, but they did. 8 runs in a 5-run fourth so far. It's 8-0. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Rene Rivera, as Hoover tries to get out of the inning. 3-10, and that's a ground ball back to Hoover. That's going to mercifully end the inning. They send 9 to the plate. 5 of them score, and that's going to be all for Hoover. Hoover's going to face, let's see here, he's going to go 2/3 of an inning facing 5 batters. And they will bring in a long reliever, probably either Villarreal or Cingrani, to try to eat up some innings. At the end of 4 complete, I was hoping for a close game, but sometimes you don't always get that. You never know what you're going to get, just like Forrest Gump said when you play these games. The dice have a mind of their own. Hey, Troy's Cards. How are you doing? Good to see you. Unfortunately, the game's not as close as I would like it to be, but what are you going to do? All right, so Chris Archer, the beneficiary of all these runs, he will pick on Brandon Phillips to lead off the inning. 5-11. That's a fly ball left field X. That's Geyer. He's not the best defender in the world. He's a good hitter, but he's never known for his defense. Well, actually, he's pretty good. 2. I was thinking he was a 4, but he's actually a 2. I was dissing him in the wrong way, but that's a 3. That might drop. 2 and a 3 for an outfielder, for a left fielder, rather. 2 and a 3 is a single right there, so it does drop in for a base hit. So leadoff single for Phillips. And, of course, down 8-0. They're not going to try to steal. They will hold him on just out of just because, but he's not going to go anywhere down 8-0. Here's Cozart. 6-6. That's a strikeout for Archer. So he hit the bullseye there on the corner of the plate. Gets the strikeout. And Joey Vado steps to the plate. 3-8, and that's a walk. Seems to be a theme in this game is walks. So Joey Vado will draw the base on balls, put 2 on, 1 out for the Todd father, Todd Frazier. 2-8 for Frazier. Ground ball to short. It's an A, so it's a 6-4-3 double play. I think that's the first double play of the game, if I'm not mistaken. And Tampa turns it to quell any thoughts of a Cincinnati rally. So nothing doing for the Reds here in the top of the 5th. As I put the results here in the computer. All right, we need a new pitcher for the Reds, though, because Hoover is exhausted or tired or whatever you want to call it. So let's see who they got in their pen that can go some innings. And that would be Mr. Villarreal. He's got a relief rating of 3, so he can go multiple innings. And that's what they need right now. They need somebody to chew up some innings. And with the DH, you can leave him in there as long as you want. You don't have to worry about pinch hitting for him. So Villarreal is in the game. And on the replay, he's not too good. In 6 innings pitched, he's got an ERA of 9.95. No wins, no losses, no saves. 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 walks, and only 2 strikeouts. So his strikeout to walk ratio not very good. But Cincinnati just wants them to eat some innings. So Geyer, who led off the bottom of the 4th with a home run, will lead off the 5th. 6'10", and I got to check the injury rating on Villarreal. 6'10" is a ground ball third base X. That is Longoria. That's Frazier. He's a 2. 2 and a 10 is going to go to his error check. 2 and a 10 for a third baseman definitely goes to the error check. And Frazier's an E20. E20 and a 10 at third base. E20 and a 10 is a 9 through 12 is a ground ball A. So it's a good play for Frazier. But we'll check and see if there was any kind of a chance of an injury for Villarreal. See what his injury factor is. Villarreal is a 1, so it's a 6-12 we got to avoid. 6-12. So he's okay there with Geyer. Took care of that. All righty. I'll tell you what, Troy's cards. This is a fun hobby. I also collect cards, but not like I used to. But yeah, this is definitely a fun hobby. I think once you get into it, sometimes you get hooked. And the thing about this is not just Strat-O-Matic, but you got other games like Payoff Pitch and Inside Pitch, Replay Baseball, APA, History Maker Baseball. The list goes, Pine Tar. The list goes on and on of options. So there's a lot of options also with the computer, but to me, nothing beats the cards and dice. Nothing beats the hands of the feel of the dice in the hands and the sounds and all that good stuff. But that's just me. So here's Logan Forsyth, 2-9. Ground ball to second. 2 up and 2 down. So maybe Villarreal is bringing some much-needed stability to the Reds' pitching. Here's Evan Longoria. He's homered and walked. 1-6. It's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Villarreal. So that definitely helps the Reds, at least maybe not in this game, but in the long run, it will save their bullpen. They got to manage not just for this game, but for the series. You don't want to wear your bullpen out in the first game of a 3-game series. So I'm sure Villarreal will be in there for the long haul, taking one for the team. Here's Chris Archer. This will be his fatigue inning, as he does have that number 6 right here. So since we start the 6th inning, he will now be subject to fatigue if he starts giving up some base hits and walks and that sort of thing. Jay Bruce, struck out and walked, has not put bat on ball yet. 3-6. He did this time, but it's a meager grounder right back to Archer. So easy play there. 1 down, and that brings up designated hitter Eugenio Suarez. I'm not a fan of the designated hitter, but I set up the rule in this league that the home team dictates. So since Tampa Bay, the American League team, is home, they will have the DH. When they play again in Cincinnati later in the season, pitchers will hit. 2-7, and that's a 1-19 single, so you almost have to figure that's going to be automatic. And it is. Although the way the game's been going for the Reds, you never know. But Suarez does get the hit. He will not be held. He's not going to 8-0 game. You're not thinking about running. Here's Brian Pena. 4-5, and that's a strikeout. Another strikeout for Archer. 2 up and 2 down. And in case anybody's watching that's not familiar, sometimes you see me over here and sometimes you see me over here on the pitcher card. It depends on who's batting. If a lefty is batting, I go over here. If a righty's batting, I check over here. So since that last batter, Pena was a switch hitter, I came over here. Had he been a right-handed batter, I'd have gone 4-5 over here. In this case, still a strikeout, but in a lot of the cards, it's different results. So in case anybody was curious, I'm sure 99% of you knew that, but you never know who's watching. Could be somebody that's never seen it before. Here's Marlon Bird. 1-7, and that's a ground ball to short, but since he's not being held, that's going to be a regular grounder. Had he been held, that would have been gotten through for a base hit, but that's going to be a regular grounder to end the inning, and that's the benefit of being up 8-0. You don't have to hold the runners. So nothing doing for the Reds here in the top of the 6th. And Archer can continue as he only gave up 1 base runner. And Mr. Villarreal will come back out. to start the bottom of the 6th. As he went 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. And Jesus will lead things off for the Rays in this 8-0 game. Like I said, I definitely would prefer to have a closer game, but I don't like Larry. I definitely don't like the universal DH. I really don't see a need for a DH, to be honest with you, because starting pitchers don't go more than about 5 innings, so they may come up to bat one time. I heard somebody, I don't know who it was, somebody on baseball on the MLB channel threw out a little proposal that you can start the game with the DH, but once the starting pitcher leaves, you lose the DH. And that was kind of an interesting one. Don't think that would fly, but kind of interesting thought. So here's the Jesus. 4-6, and that's a 1-13 single. But it's a 19, so it ends up being a liner right to, well, not right to Phillips. He was able to snag it. Could have got by him, but he was able to range over and get it. And that brings up Brandon Geyer. 2-3. 2-3 is a single to left. There's an Omega symbol there, but that's for clutch, and it's also super advanced, not advanced. So we ignore that. It's just a straight out single. And Brandon Geyer gotten 2 singles his last 2 at-bats. And here's his Drupal Cabrera. Geyer not going to be held in the 8-0 game. 4-5. And that's a fly ball to right. There's a C, so the runner cannot advance. 2 down. Oops, second out, not the first out. And that brings up Souza. 5-4, and that's a walk. Boy, he just missed the home run. That would have been an automatic home run. But 5-4 is a walk. Much better to walk than a home run. Does keep the inning going for Jake Elmore. His first game of the season, he's 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. 4-7, and that's a 1-19 single. It's only 1 star, so it would just load the bases. So bases are loaded. Jake Elmore now 2 for 3 in his debut. And that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Rene Rivera. 5-10, and that's a fly to left to end the inning. So Villarreal wasn't pretty, but he got the job done. And he will come out to pitch another inning. So I don't know, with the Ohtani thing, with the new rule, does that mean Ohtani's not allowed to bat when he pitches? Do they have to use somebody else as a DH? I don't know. That'd be an interesting rule to figure out and see if that's the case or not. All right, we start at the top of the 7th. Archer is fatigued with a 6, but he only allowed 1 hit, 1 base runner, so he's still in there. And here's Billy Hamilton, 0 for 2 in his first game back. Hello, Strat-O-Matic Classic Baseball. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great morning. Wish I could have a closer game for you, but them the breaks the way the dice go. 1-5 is a leadoff walk to Billy Hamilton, and normally as a Double-A stealer, I'd be sending him left and right. But down 8-0, we're going to kind of go with the unwritten rules here and just not let him do anything. So here's Brandon Phillips. 4-4, and that is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is now DeJesus. It was Kiermaier until he got hurt. So DeJesus in center field is not very good. He's a 4. Went from a 1 to a 4 with that change. Center fielder a 4, a 15 might get him out of it. 4 and a 15. There's the 15. A 4, though, is a single 2 stars. Had he been a 3 or better, it would have caught that. But such bad range, it's a single 2 stars. Billy Hamilton will take third. And now Archer on the brink of being fatigued. They may have to be looking for the bullpen. They got a lefty loosening when Vado comes up, so they're going to let Archer go one more batter. And that batter is 4-8, and that's trouble. That's going to do it for Archer. He will now be tired. 1-4 is a double. 5-20 is a single. It's a single 2 stars. So Phillips will take third. Cozart will single. Reds get their first run of the game, Billy Hamilton. And the Reds are capable of scoring runs in bunches, so the game is not over by any means. Archer, look what they did against Cleveland. They would score 9 runs in one inning and give up 8 runs the next inning. So wild and wacky when you play with the Reds, for sure. So now the Rays will go to a lefty out of the bullpen. And let's see who that's going to be. Let me do the scoring on this inning so I can get caught up. Let's see. Actually, I didn't score the bottom half, did I? So I got some catching up to do on the computer so I can get everything straight. Single and a fly to right. And then a walk and a single. And then a fly to left, which goes to the top of the 7th, and it's Hamilton with a walk. Phillips with a single. Moving Hamilton to 3rd. And then Cozart with a single. So there we go. Now Archer is officially tired. So Archer will be removed for a left-handed reliever. And the Rays will turn to lefty Jake Mcgee. So me and Jake Mcgee will be coming on. Jake Mcgee in real life was 1-2 with a 2.41 ERA and 6 saves. On the replay, Jake Mcgee, not very good. 0-1 with an ERA of 10.13. 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. But he's in there with an 8-1 lead. I guess they're going to bring him in when the score is 8-1. So Jake Mcgee is your new pitcher. Well, Archer can't close the book yet because he's still got runners on base. He did face 29 batters, so a lot of batters faced. He's going to go 6+. Couldn't get any outs in the 7th. And injury check for Mcgee to monitor. Mcgee is a 6, which is a 6-7. So Mcgee has the highest injury chance possible. He rolls a 6-7. He's susceptible to injury. So they have to be careful with that. And Joey Vado will step to the plate. So Vado is up, runners at the corners, up 8-1. They're playing the infield back. They want a double play. Lefty on lefty. 2-10, and that's a walk. Again, that's been the theme of this game, seemingly, is walks. So Joey Vado's walked to load the bases with nobody out, and the Todd father is capable of putting one over the fence right here that would make it very interesting. So Jake Mcgee to Todd Frazier. Look at that column 3 against lefties. But he found column 2. 2-5 is a strikeout. So big out there for Mcgee to get Frazier. And another lefty on lefty matchup, Jay Bruce. 6-9, again 6-7 the injury check. 6-9, a 1-15 is a home run chance. He does have normal power against lefties. This could be a grand salami right here on a 1-15. 16-20 is just a sacrifice fly. But a 1-15, it's a grand salami. We got a very interesting game all of a sudden. 17, boy, that's just the way it's gone for the Reds. It's going to turn to a sacrifice fly, a disappointing sacrifice fly, if there is such a thing. Phillips will trot in to score, but boy, that could have been a lot more. Out number 2, Jay Bruce just missed that one. And now Eugenio Suarez stepping to the plate. Runners at first and second with 2 down. Nobody's being held on. 4-11 against a right-hander. That's a fly to center. Super advanced, we come down to the split, but in advanced, we stay on the top line. That's a fly to center to end the inning. So Jake Mcgee gets out of it, giving up the sacrifice fly. That's really all that cost him. 2 runs come in for the Reds. McGee's going to go 1 inning facing 4 batters, and then they'll bring in somebody else to pitch in the 8th inning. You don't want to wear out your lefties because you want to have them available for a couple of games. All right, 7th inning stretch time, so I'm going to take a stretch myself. Well, first of all, I'm going to put the top of the 7th into the computer so I can get that finished off. Let's see, Vado walked. Frazier struck out. Sacrifice fly from Bruce. And then Suarez flew to center. Okay, 7th inning stretch time. As Robert says on his videos, you can sing your Take Me Out to the Ball Games or whatever you choose to do. Right now I'm just going to stand up and stretch. I'm going to literally stretch because I've been sitting here for an hour. So I think it's probably good to stretch. Hello, Butch. How are you doing? 8-3 ball game. Wish it could be closer, but dice don't dictate that. The dice tell you what's going to happen. So we're going to the bottom of the 7th. And it's going to be the top of the order, Jaso, Forsyth, and Longoria. We are now at the part where anybody that had to rest can come in and play, but they've already used Souza and Cabrera, so Loney's the only one that fits that category. We had 2 hit by pitches and 2 injuries. Beckham out 5 games, and Kiermaier will be out 1 more game. Back-to-back hit by pitches in the 2nd inning, where Cueto was really, really wild. All right, bottom of the 7th, John Jaso homered back in the 4th. 8-3 Tampa, bottom of the 7th. Villarreal in for another inning, his 2nd inning of his appearance. Oh, I've never had a leaner. Do you see that? That's kind of interesting. That number 1 and 3, that's leaning. That's kind of tilted. So I'm going to re-roll that. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to knock it down and make it a 1. If it doesn't come out right, I'm going to re-roll it. 3-7 for Jaso. Ground ball to first base, C plus an injury. Boy, the Rays, another chance at an injury. This is getting out of hand, but that's why it's the Demolition League. It's all kinds of things can happen. So, fortunately, that's the bad part about not recording. I could pause that and cough, but live I can't. Fortunately, James Loney is on the bench, so he could, well, anybody could because it's a DH. Jaso is playing DH, so they could bring in Loney if need be. But first we'll see if it's an injury or not. Again, 1-4, he'll be okay. Anything else, he's going to come out. It's a 16, so he's going to miss 6 games. So boy, it's like a mash unit in this one. Jaso is going to miss 6 games. And they're going to have to go down to Durham and get some extra players to pick up the slack. Loney will be the new DH. So he will be in as the new DH as Tampa Bay. And I'm sure, at least I'm fairly sure, that Kevin Cash is not happy about what's going on in this game. Probably going to let Brian Price know about it after the game, and the rest of the series could be very interesting as far as hit by pitches go. Hey Mark, how you doing? If I didn't say hello to you before, I'll say hello now. All right, so Logan Forsyth and Loney will not be held at first. Here's Logan Forsyth. 6'8", and Villarreal injury is a 6'12", so he's okay. 6'8's a liner to short, so Cozart will put that away for the first out. And that will bring up Evan Longoria. And the only guy left on the bench is backup catcher Bobby Wilson for Tampa. So if we get another injury, he's going to be really scrambling. 1-7, and that's a pop out to third. 2 down. And for DeJesus, the center fielder. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to first to end the inning. So Villarreal doing very, very well for himself. Pitched 2 innings, and since he's still effective, he's going to come out for the 8th inning as well, probably. Save that bullpen. So we go to the top of the 8th with the score still 8-2. So let me go to the computer and put in this last inning. All right, Forsyth line to short. And then we had a pop to third. And then the grounder to first. Okay, so we need a new pitcher for Tampa. Mcgee did his job, and now they're going to another pitcher. And they will go to Steve Geltz. Steve Geltz on the real season was 2-6, 3.74 ERA. It shows 2 starts, but I believe those are openers. And then he had 2 saves. Let's see what he's doing on the season replay. I don't think he's had that many appearances, so I will check it out. Geltz checks in. He's pitched 5 innings. 1 win, no losses, no saves. ERA of 0. 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. So he's pitched very well in limited duty. And he will be facing Brian Pena. Why do I have him up here? I don't know why I put that. I gotta scratch that out. I don't know where that came from. That 3-1. Don't know. Very weird. Okay. So Geltz, and we'll check his chance of being injured. Not what Tampa Bay wants to hear. They don't want to hear the word injury right now. Geltz is a 0, so he cannot be injured. So that works. And they're going to end up with Brian Pena leading things off. Bottom of the order, Pena, Bird, and Hamilton in an 8-2 game here in the 8th. From the Trop. 2-9 against a right-hander. That's a fly to left. 1 away. Pena is retired. 1 down. That brings up Marlon Bird. 3-8 for Bird. Struck him out. 2 down. Sends up Billy Hamilton. 5-10. That is a catcher X. Catcher in this case is Rivera. He is a 3. 3 and a 4. So we go to the catcher chart for a 3 and a 4. The number 3 and the number 4 gives us a wild pitch and pop out, but nobody's on base, so it's simply a pop out to the catcher. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Geltz. He keeps his ERA at 0. He's a 1-inning guy, so he'll just pitch this 1 inning and that'll be it. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Villarreal still in there. Let's see. I think I missed. I got to finish this on the computer real quick. Marlon Bird was a strikeout, not a pop out. And it was Hamilton who popped out to the catcher. Okay, so now we got Brandon Geyer to lead it off. If Villarreal should run into problems, they will bring in another pitcher just for mercy's sake, but they're going to try to get him through it. 5-7, and that's a strikeout with a dot, but he's not tired yet. I don't believe. Let me double check when he came in. Actually, let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, actually he is tired because he's pitched 3 innings. This is his 4th inning. So they took a chance and it bit him in the butt. So he found the dot, and that means he's going to have to come out. He doesn't have to, but that's kind of my rule that if you, just like an inside pitch, if a pitcher is fatigued and they hit a fatigue roll, he comes out. So we will go to the Reds bullpen, and they'll find somebody to try to mop up this game. And the mop-up guy is going to be Burke Badenhop. Burke Badenhop will be the new pitcher for the Reds. Let's get the numbers on Badenhop. On the replay, Burke Badenhop is 0-0 and no saves, a 12.27 ERA, 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So an ugly start to his season, but that's time to bring him in. You don't want to use one of your better guys. You want to, he's right now the true definition of a mop-up guy. Villarreal went 3 innings. He did his job. He ate up a lot of innings. He faced, faced 13 batters before retiring. Badenhop, just to double check an injury for Badenhop. Badenhop is a 1, which means 6-12. Got to avoid the 6-12. All right, so Badenhop trying to get out of the inning before it gets any worse. And he'll be facing this Drupal Cabrera. Of course, Geyer will not be held. 6-5, switcher to bang left. That's a ground ball, shortstop X. That is Mr. Cozart, and Cozart, a very good fielder, is a 1. 1 and a 16. I do believe that's going to be a ground ball A for a double play. 1 and a 16 certainly is. So it's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. 2 quick outs. And that's going to send us to Steven Souza. 5-10, and that's a fly to left to end the inning. So Batenhop actually did very well for himself. He pitches 1 inning, facing just 2 batters because of the double play. We go to the 9th, last chance for the Reds. It's not a good one, but it is a chance. We go to the 9th, it is 8-2. So now I need to finish off the bottom of the 8th on the computer so I can flip it to the 9th. And let's see, Cabrera rounded into the 6-4-3 double play. And then a fly to left. And now we got to figure out who the pitcher is going to be for Tampa to clean up the 9th. And I do believe they're going to go with, let's see, he's pitched 7 innings. I want to find somebody that hasn't had a lot of innings pitched. And Jepson hasn't. So I'm going to go with Kevin Jepson. Jepson on the replay is 0-0 with no saves and an ERA of 0. 5 innings pitched, only 1 hit allowed, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So he's done very well early on. He would later get traded to Minnesota, where he would, I believe, turn to their closer, which is why he had 15 saves. But he does get traded to Minnesota. He has an injury rating of 0. He cannot be injured, which is a good sign for Tampa. And he'll be dealing with the top of the order. Phillips, Cozart, and Vado due up for the Reds. Will there be, as RJL likes to say, will there be any 9th inning magic with an 8-2 game? You never know. Probably not, but we'll see. Here's Phillips. 2-11 for Phillips as a leadoff single, so at least there was not going to be a 1-2-3 9th inning. May not be any magic, but at least it's not a 1-2-3 inning. And here's Zach Cozart. Phillips not being, with an 8-2 game, they're not holding anybody. So Cozart is up 4-9, and that's a strikeout for Jepson. 1 away. Rays 2 outs away from going to 7-3, which would put them in a tie for first place in the league. Joey Vado stepping to the plate. 3-9, that's a walk, so Jepson's got to be careful. Don't want to let things get out of hand. Definitely don't want to have to bother your closer this late in the game, having him warm up. Here's Todd Frazier, the Todd father. 3-8, and that's a chance for a 3-run homer right here. 1-15 is a home run. 16-20 is a double. That's gone. A 3-run shot by the Todd father, and that's going to be it for Jepson. He couldn't finish the deal. It is now 8-5. Not quite a save situation, but we're getting close. 3-run bomb by Todd Frazier. So now I got to put this in the computer, and I thought I was going to be done with the computer until the video was over, but the Reds had other ideas. That's why I said it's never over with the Reds. They have a good offense. They can't pitch, but they got a great offense. And a 3-run homer by the Todd father. Jepson is out of there. So Jepson couldn't get it done, and now they will bring on Bruce. And you'd hate to use their other lefty right now, but you might have to do that with Jay Bruce coming up. Let's go to the bullpen and see if Cedano, he hasn't pitched that much, so we'll bring in Xavier Cedano. He's only pitched 3 innings on the season, so Xavier Cedano, the other lefty, will be coming on. Jepson goes a third of an inning, facing 4 batters, and got roughed up, obviously. It is now an 8-5 game. And for Tampa, Cedano is a 1, so it's a 6-12 for his injury chance. Anything can happen in the Demolition League, and as Robert likes to say on his channel, you never know. 9th inning magic has struck again, apparently. So Cedano, in 3 innings pitched, no wins or losses, no saves, no ERA. He's got an ERA of 0. 1 hit allowed, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And Jay Bruce, lefty on lefty matchup. Bruce does have a good column 2. But he found column 3. 3-7's a strikeout. So Cedano gets out number 2. And that takes us to Eugenio Suarez, the designated hitter, last chance for the Reds. It is Suarez. The bases are clear. They're down by 3. 4-6, and that's a single, so the inning continues. Reds are not going to die just yet. Suarez will not be held in a 3-run game. And Brian Pena, the batter now. Do they go to the bench? They do have Bourgeois on the bench, and they also have Barnhart. Pena, a 273 hitter is not bad, but let's look at what Bourgeois and Barnhart did. Or did in the season, I should say. They also have Schumacher, but he's a lefty, so is Bosch. So a couple of their hitters are lefties. Actually, Pena's got the best average of anybody, so he's going to stay in the game. He is a switch hitter. He will turn around bat right-handed. But he's got a higher average than anyone on the bench. So 2 down, runner at first, 8-5 game. Cedano trying to end this thing. If another guy gets on, they may have to warm up Brad Boxberger. I'm sure Boxberger thought he had the game off. 4-11 against a switch hitter batting right-handed is a single. So another base hit. And they're down by 3. They're going to play station to station. But now the tying run is coming to the plate, and they're going to have to bring in Brad Boxberger. They have no choice. They didn't want to, but they're going to have to. So Daniel goes a third of an inning, gives up 3 batters, or faces 3 batters, and now Boxberger is going to come on, the closer, and try to end this thing. Seemed like the one that will never end. Marlon Bird is a scheduled hitter for the Reds, but of course they do have the lefties on the bench they could go to. Boxberger on the real season was 4-10, 3.71 ERA and 41 saves. On the replay, let's figure out what he's doing on the replay. Let's see, Suarez singled and Pena singled. So now we go to Brad Boxberger, the closer. And I'm sure, like I said, he was not expecting to pitch in this game, and I'm sure that Kevin Cash didn't expect to use him in this game. Boxberger, he's only pitched 2 innings all season, so he really could use the work, I guess. 0-0 with a save, no ERA of 0. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. So let's check his injury, and that would be the last thing that would put a piece of icing on the cake to have your closer injured. Boxberger's a 1, so it'd be a 6-12 to check for injury. So Boxberger, does he face Bird? That's the question. Bird on the season hit 247. He did have 23 home runs, so he could tie the game with 1 swing of the bat. So I think you got to put that into perspective. If he finds that column 2, he could be tough. Now they do have lefties off the bench that they could go to. They have a switch hitter and 2 lefties. They got Skip Schumacher, who hits 242 with limited power. Brandon Bosch, 146 in limited power. Tucker Barnhart, 252 with limited power. So I think you stick with Bird here. Even though it's a righty on righty, I think you kind of have to. I just don't see where you take him out. So 1 swing of the bat, that could tie this game. So anything can happen. Tying run is at the plate. And maybe with Robert being here, the 9th inning magic is trickling over to the Strat-O-Matic versus the inside pitch. Tying run at the plate, 2 outs, top of the 9th, 8-5 game with 2 on. Bird is the tying run. Boxberger looking for the save. It would be his second, if he can get it. 3-10, and he struck him out to end the game. So Brad Boxberger gets that second save, rather. And the Rays hang on to beat the Reds 8-5, as the Reds did leave the bases or not the bases loaded, but they left the tying runs sitting there on at the plate, rather. So there's your ball game, and I'll get the total results for you once I go to the box score. Rays win a wild one, 8-5. They actually led 8-0, but bullpen kind of let it slip away a little bit. The Reds are never say die attitude came up with that. All right, let's look at the line score for the Rays. 8 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. They left on 11. And for the Reds, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left on 12. So the left on base, a big factor there. Cueto takes the loss. He drops to 1-1. He just didn't have it. And the winner, of course, was Archer. He is now 2-0. as the winner. And Boxberger gets his second save. The Rays now improve to 7-3. And as I look at the standings, the Rays and Cleveland are tied at 7-3. Boston, Seattle, and the Mets are at 6-4. Houston's at 5-5. San Francisco and Arizona are both 4-6. The Reds drop to 3-7, and the lowly Phillies check in at 2-8. So what I thought was a blowout turned out to be interesting in the ninth. But in the end, Brad Boxberger kind of put a kibosh to the Reds' thoughts of coming all the way back. I appreciate everybody that chose to spend part of their Saturday morning with me. Like I said, I'm not used to these live things. I feel like I'm much more comfortable recording and uploading, but Saturday is kind of my one day where I have the house to myself, at least in the morning. So I like to, if I'm going to do a live one, that's the best time to do it. And of course, Tabby behaved. She's actually taking a nap now, so I think she lost interest, which is fine by me because that allowed me to play without any interruption. So the rest of Series 4 will be played offline, those 10 games. Games 2 and 3 of each of the series. Next video, we'll be looking at Series 5, and it will be the Giants and the Mets from Citi Field. That will be the next matchup. I don't know the pitching matchup until we play it out, but I've got a feeling the Aces kind of pitched in this game, or in this series, so I think we're looking at like the 4th and 5th starters here. So you could be looking at, say, Tim Lincecum and Dylan G, or you could be looking maybe at Tim Lincecum and Vargas. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it won't be DeGrom or anybody because he pitched in this one. So that's going to be the next video. Future other matchups in Series 5. Cleveland will play Houston, which is probably the most interesting one. Arizona goes to Philly. Boston goes to Tampa, and Seattle will go to Cincinnati. That's how Series 5 works out. Hey Joel, how you doing? I almost didn't see you there. Better than Saturday. Well, at least I'm better than Saturday morning cartoons. That's interesting. I like Saturday morning cartoons when I was growing up, especially Bugs Bunny. I really loved the Bugs Bunny and the Foghorn Leghorn and all that stuff. That was a fun time. Brad, I am doing these with cards and dice, but the ones are offline. I'm doing them on cards and dice, scoring them on the paper, and uploading them on the computer, just like I'm doing it here. It's just that they're offline, so it's a little bit quicker to play. I don't have to, I don't have anything to worry about. I can just play and not worry about what's on a video or whatever. So it plays a little bit quicker. But yeah, I do cards and dice on every game because I got to roll for injury rolls and everything else. So if you look at my score sheets, I've got a notebook here. Let me move this tray. I've got my notebook here with all the score sheets. It's getting a little bit crunchy in here. I probably have to find a better way. But anyway, these are all the score sheets from all the games. So that's what I've done so far. And the game we just played will fit in right behind this one. That was the previous game from video, that Arizona-Seattle game that I did. So this game will just fit right into here. That was game number 50, by the way, that we just played. Out of 270 total. Now the thing I got to do, and maybe I'll do it while you guys are online and I've got the computer game up. I got to get some reserves for Tampa Bay due to these injuries. Let's see. Let's go to the Tampa Bay roster and see who it is I can bring in, because we need some players. So for Tampa, let's see. They're going to bring Jennings back. He was sent down that one game, but he's got to come back because of the Kiermaier injury. And then Beckham is injured. So let's see who they want to bring in for Beckham. They need an infielder, so it probably is going to be Nick Franklin is who I'm thinking of, but we'll double check it. Make sure I have a card for Nick Franklin. Yeah, 100 bats, I ought to have a card for him. So Desmond Jennings gets the call up, and Nick Franklin gets the call up. So they will replace Beckham and Kiermaier, but then I got to get another guy for Jaso because he's out 6 games. Jaso primarily a DH, so I can kind of bring in whoever I want. And let's see who we're going to bring in. We're going to bring in Joey Butler. So Joey Butler is another guy I have on their bench, or in their minors, I should say. The cards I have for Tampa, those are 3 bench players that I have. I also have Kurt Casale, Mike Matuk, Richie Schaefer, and JP Arancibia. So those were part of the extra players with the 2015 set. So that's who I've got left. So we're gonna replace Beckham, Kiermaier, and Jaso with Jennings, Franklin, and Butler, and we'll see how long they can go before they're injured. Franklin only played 101 games, or had 101 at bats. Jennings only had 97. Butler did have 257, but I don't know if he was playing for Tampa this early in the season. But with the injuries, I really can't go by that now. I kind of have to be in survival mode. So those are the players that are going to be on the roster for Tampa Bay going forward until the injured players come back. Jaso used to be a backup catcher in Pittsburgh, but in 2015 he was not rated. He was an outfielder and DH. Find his card. Show his card for you. If I can find it. What happened to his card? I had it, now I can't find it. John Jaso, where are you? I just had his card and now I can't find it. That's par for the course. It's got to be over here somewhere. Did he get mixed in with the Reds somehow? Or with the bullpen? Let's see. There he is. John Jaso was only rated to play left. Well, I'll show this way, it's easier. Only rated to play left field in 2015. So he played first base for Pittsburgh, I believe, later on. So that's why he's there. He's a horrible fielder, too. When he does play, he's a 4 with an E16 and a +2 arm. So he's made a DH. Now, when he went to Pittsburgh, they kind of played him at first base a little bit. But don't know how well it worked out. I don't even think he's in the major leagues anymore. I don't know. But that's just the way that goes. So there you have the new roster, or the updated roster for Tampa Bay, as the injury bug has hit, almost as bad as COVID. So that's going to do it from here. I really do appreciate all you guys for tuning in, that stuck with me through this rather long game. I think we've been going on for, I don't know how long we've been going on for, but it's been a while. Probably about an hour and a half, if I had to guess. I don't have to guess. The phone says it's an hour and a half. So thank you all for sticking with me. Thank you, Brad Church, Replay Gamer, Keith White, Cleveland baseball fan, Tim, otherwise used to be known as Tribe fan. Keith White. Let's see here. Old Man Music. Of course, Robert, RJL Network, not RJL 518 anymore, RJL Network. Key update there. Larry Harris, thank you. Bob Cole, thank you very much. Let's see. Troy's Cards and Cars. Hopefully, this has sparked an interest in cards and dice or Strat-O-Matic computer or anything like that for you. It's a great hobby to get into. Once you get in, you're kind of hooked. At least I am. Let's see who else. Strat-O-Matic Classic Baseball, thank you. And I don't want to leave anyone out. I think I'm missing one more person. Let me double check here. Maybe two. Butch Haber, thank you very much. And let's see, is that it? Or did I feel like I'm still missing somebody. I got to scroll all the way down. Mark Levin or Levine, not sure how it's pronounced. Thank you as well. Joel Anderson, thank you very much. I think that hit everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize. But I don't see any. I think that's pretty much covers it. All right, like I said, I do appreciate all you guys for tuning in. If you enjoy the live streams, let me know. Otherwise, if you prefer the what do you call it? If you prefer the recorded videos, because recorded videos I can do at a 1080p, whereas on the live video 720 is the best I can get. So right now we're getting close to March. So if you're a college basketball fan, this is the prime time of the season for you. I know I've got some college basketball to watch today. Of course, we're waiting on baseball too, but In the meantime, without spring training starting, we're looking at college basketball to fill the void. So a lot of good college basketball games on tap today. I do appreciate everyone tuning in. And Larry likes the live games. Cool. Well, I'll try to keep those up. I'll try to make that a Saturday morning tradition. Don't know what, maybe I'll pick a time and stick to it, maybe like 9 o'clock or something. I enjoy it because it gives you guys a chance to come in here and chat amongst yourself and that sort of stuff, where on the recorded ones you just watch and that's it. But again, a little bit better video quality on the recorded ones, but the live one's kind of fun too, I think. You can start chatting about all kinds of stuff and never know what's going to come up. So again, thanks to everybody that joined in live and those that watch later. Appreciate you also tuning in. Again, the final score. Tampa Bay didn't have it as easy as they thought they were. They led 8-0 after 4 innings, but the Reds got 2 in the 7th and 3 in the 9th. Made it interesting. Caused Brad Boxberger to get a save. He had to come in and get the save. 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 11 left on for Tampa. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 12 left on for the Reds. Winning pitcher Chris Archer, he's 2-0. Loser is Johnny Cueto, 1-1, and Brad Boxberger gets his second save. Next video on the channel will be the start of series number 5, and it will be the San Francisco Giants taking on the Mets from Citi Field. Don't know what day that'll be on, but we'll figure it out. Sometime during the week it'll be a recording and upload. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and as usual, I will see you all down the road.